Good morning. Doppler Online. Wednesday, April 15th, 2026. SPC Severe Weather Briefing. Today carries a slight risk for severe weather across parts of the central United States, but the real reason I am standing in front of you this morning is what is coming on Friday. The Storm Prediction Center has issued an enhanced risk for Day 3, and that means organized severe weather is likely across a large area. Not every storm will be severe, but the setup is favorable for multiple significant events. This is your advance warning. You have 2 full days to prepare, and I want you to use every one of them. Let me walk you through everything you need to know. Let us start with today. On screen right now is the Day 1 categorical outlook, and you can see the slight risk area draped across portions of the Central Plains and into the mid-Mississippi Valley. A slight risk means scattered severe thunderstorms are possible today, and while not everyone under this zone will see severe weather, enough storms will produce dangerous conditions that you need to be paying attention. The atmosphere today has the ingredients for trouble. A deepening surface low is pulling warm, moist air northward out of the Gulf of Mexico, and that moisture is the fuel that thunderstorms feed on. Meanwhile, temperatures aloft are cooling, and that contrast between warm surface air and cold air higher up creates instability. Think of the atmosphere like a coiled spring. The more unstable it becomes, the more violently it can release energy when storms fire. On top of that, wind shear is increasing across the threat area. Wind shear means the wind is changing speed and direction as you go up in altitude, and that is what creates rotation inside thunderstorms. When you combine rich moisture, strong instability, and increasing wind shear with a lifting mechanism like a frontal boundary, you get the recipe for supercell thunderstorms. Supercells are the most dangerous type of thunderstorm. They are long-lived, rotating storms capable of producing tornadoes, very large hail, and damaging straight-line winds. Today's setup is not an extreme one, but it is potent enough to generate isolated supercells during the afternoon and evening hours, with additional storms potentially organizing into clusters or short-line segments as they push eastward overnight. Now let me break down each hazard individually. On screen now is the Day 1 tornado probability map. The SPC has tornado probabilities up to 5% with significant areas hatched, meaning there is a non-trivial chance that any tornado that does form could be strong, rated EF2 or higher. A 5% tornado probability may sound small, but in severe weather forecasting, that is meaningful. It means the atmosphere is capable of producing tornadoes today, and some of those tornadoes could be more than brief, weak spin-ups. If you are in the hatched significant area, you need to know exactly where you will shelter if a tornado warning is issued for your location. That means a basement, an interior room on the lowest floor, away from windows. If you live in a mobile home, you need to identify a sturdier structure nearby right now, before storms develop. Switching to the Day 1 wind probability map, now on screen. Wind probabilities reach up to 15% today, meaning damaging thunderstorm winds of 58 miles per hour or greater are possible across a broad area. Winds at that speed snap tree limbs, bring down power lines, and can cause structural damage to older or weaker buildings. If you have outdoor furniture, trampolines, trash cans, or anything else that wind can turn into a projectile, now is the time to secure it or bring it inside. Power outages are likely in areas hit by the strongest wind gusts, so make sure your phones are charged and you have flashlights and batteries accessible. Now on screen is the Day 1 hail probability map. Hail probabilities also reach 15% with significant areas possible, meaning some storms could produce hail 2 inches in diameter or larger. To put that in perspective, 1-inch hail is about the size of a quarter, and 2-inch hail is roughly the size of a hen egg or even a lime. Hail that size will dent vehicles, crack windshields, shred vegetation, and can cause serious injury to anyone caught outside. If you have the option to park your vehicle in a garage or under a covered structure today, do it. If you are caught driving in a hailstorm, pull over under an overpass or sturdy cover if possible, and stay inside your vehicle with your seatbelt on. Do not try to outrun the storm. Now let me tell you specifically who is in the threat zone. For today's slight risk on Day 1, the primary threat corridor stretches across portions of the Central Plains and into the mid-Mississippi Valley. Looking ahead to Friday's enhanced risk on Day 3, which is the elevated day driving this briefing, the cities directly inside the enhanced zone include Des Moines, Iowa, Kansas City, Missouri, and Wichita, Kansas. If you live in or near any of those 3 metro areas, Friday demands your full attention. Surrounding that enhanced zone is a slight risk area that pulls in Oklahoma City and Tulsa in Oklahoma, Omaha in Nebraska, and Springfield and St. Louis in Missouri. Those cities face a real severe weather threat on Friday as well and should be preparing accordingly. Beyond that, a marginal risk extends into Dallas and Fort Worth in Texas, Minneapolis in Minnesota, Milwaukee in Wisconsin, and Chicago in Illinois. Even at the marginal level, isolated severe storms are possible, and you should stay alert. The general thunderstorm area on Friday is expansive, stretching from Detroit and Indianapolis through Louisville and into the Northeast, reaching cities like New York, Boston, and Albany. That broad swath will see thunderstorms, though the severe threat is lower. On screen now is the Day 1 categorical map, once more as we discuss timing. Today, storms are expected to initiate across the Central Plains during the mid to late afternoon hours as daytime heating destabilizes the atmosphere. The most intense activity should develop between roughly 3 and 8 p.m. local time across the primary threat zone, with storms pushing eastward into the mid-Mississippi Valley through the evening. Some activity could linger into the overnight hours as storms congeal into clusters, and overnight severe weather is especially dangerous because people are asleep and less likely to receive warnings. If you are in the threat zone tonight, make sure your phone alerts are turned on before you go to bed. No watches or warnings are active at this time, but that will likely change as we move into the afternoon hours. The Storm Prediction Center typically issues tornado or severe thunderstorm watches 1 to several hours before storms develop, so expect watch issuance during the early to mid-afternoon if the atmosphere continues to prime as expected. When a watch is issued, that means conditions are favorable for severe storms. When a warning is issued, that means a storm is producing or is about to produce dangerous conditions, and you need to act immediately. Make sure you have multiple ways to receive alerts. Your smartphone, a NOAA weather radio, and local television are all critical tools. Now the map on screen transitions to the Day 2 categorical outlook for Thursday. While Day 2 specific data is unavailable at this time, the broader pattern shows the system progressing eastward, and the atmosphere will be reloading ahead of Friday's main event. I will have a full Day 2 breakdown in tomorrow's briefing. Now on screen is the Day 3 categorical outlook for Friday, and this is the headline. The enhanced risk centered on Des Moines, Kansas City, and Wichita represents a significant severe weather setup. The same storm system driving today's activity will deepen and strengthen over the next 48 hours, potentially bringing a more organized and dangerous severe weather event to the Central Plains and Midwest. Areas that see storms today could face repeated rounds by Friday, compounding impacts like saturated ground, weakened trees, and strained power infrastructure. If you are anywhere from Wichita to Des Moines, Friday should be circled on your calendar right now. Here is what I need you to do. First, identify your severe weather shelter location today. Know exactly where you will go if a tornado warning is issued, whether that is today or Friday. Second, charge all of your devices and make sure weather alert apps are installed and notifications are enabled. Third, if you have vehicles exposed to hail, get them under cover or have a plan to do so when storms approach. Fourth, have a family communication plan so everyone knows what to do and where to meet if severe weather strikes while you are separated. If you are in the threat zone today or Friday, I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below and tell me how you are getting ready. Are you moving vehicles into the garage, checking your weather radio batteries, running through your shelter plan with the family, or stocking up on supplies? Your preparation steps could inspire someone else reading those comments to take action that saves their life. Every comment matters. Doppler tracking. Stay weather aware and keep your alerts on. End transmission.